closer to China when in fact we've seen the opposite effect. The entire world is calling the United States of America, not China, because they need our markets, they need our consumers, and they need this president in the Oval Office to talk to them. And that's exactly why more than 75 countries have called, because the United States of America is the best place in the world to do business. And as the president has shown great courage, as the secretary has said, in choosing to retaliate against China even higher. Elena, go ahead.
Hi, thank you, Treasury Secretary Bessent. Can you explain more of the decision making on what feels like a reversal here? I mean, just these went into effect less than 15 hours ago, these tariffs. Why the pause now? What led to that?
No, again, President Trump created maximum negotiating leverage for himself, and which tariffs went into effect 15 hours ago. The ones that we have lowered went into effect a week ago. They were announced a week ago, and we have just been overwhelmed by the response from mostly our allies who want to come and negotiate in good faith. So we are expecting them to come with their best deal. As I said a week ago today, don't retaliate, hold your ground, let's see what happens. And China, they kept escalating and escalating, and now they have 125% tariffs that will be effective immediately.
Mr. Secretary.
So essentially what has happened in the market is exactly what I predicted. It's the thing that we talk about on the Millionaire Morning Show every single day. It's the thing that we're talking about in Stock Club tonight. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. And I had this conversation and I told people over the last few days, I said, listen, stop making emotional decisions. Never panic. Everything is cyclical. This is a buying opportunity. I've said it 1,000 times on this platform. A lot of y'all are sitting there and you did not take advantage. We make money going down and we make money going up. This is a buying opportunity for us as far as the market is concerned. As of the recording of this video, I'm watching it right now. The Dow is at 6.5%. S&P 500 is at over 8%. And the NASDAQ is at 10.5%. And so we made money all the way around because we did not make an emotional decision, and this was so transparent of what this is going to happen. And long term, I believe that the market is going to be incredible. More importantly, let's talk about the tariff situation. All right, I want to deep dive into that. So obviously, the United States of America is not going to blink. And some people would ask, and they would say, well, how are they able to have this tariff war with China and not worry about the impact that this is going to have in the United States of America? Is because we are the biggest economy and China is our biggest trading partner, which means that they leverage the United States of America and their consumers in order to generate significant revenue, in order to prop up their economy, which is still in a bubble from a real estate perspective. And they're using their manufacturing prowess, which we basically helped establish, to continue to take the air out of the real estate bubble. Now, they're trying to show dominance. They're trying to show that they have leverage. They're trying to show, hey, yo, listen, we're the second biggest consumers in world economy or whatever, or we're the second biggest superpower in the world. But again, you're second. And a lot of it is interdependent on the United States of America. And it's so disproportionate as far as the amount of products that we take in from them versus what we're able to export over into their economy, that they need us 10 times over more than we need them. And more importantly, you've seen that a lot of these different countries said that, you know what, we're going to go ahead and chill. We're going to wait. We're going to call. They said that over 70 countries has contacted the United States of America to basically meet with them in person. And Trump likes to negotiate in person, to meet with them in person in order for them to solve for this whole tariff situation. Because it's not just tariffs. It's not just, trading. It's also that they cost us, and every country has its different rules. While we allow for them to do business inside of the United States of America, they then prevent us from being able to export our products and then create a great business climate and economy for us to be able to be comparative or to sell to their consumers. So what you basically see is now it went from 84% to 104% to 124% tariffs on China because they decided to retaliate with the 84% tariff against the United States of America. So we have the majority of the leverage, and the world wants to do business with the United States of America. And as a result, the market is reacting in a positive way as a result of it. Check it out. Let's continue.
Go ahead.
Mr. Secretary, thanks so much for doing this. The 90-day pause on the reciprocal tariffs, is
that because of the whiplash that we've been seeing across the financial markets? How much was, what we saw in the stock market?
This is Treasury Secretary Scott Benson.
No,
Jamie
it's
Dimon just
because
spoke
it's
about
going
him today.
because of the large number of inbounds. We've had more than 75 countries contact us, and I imagine after today there will be more. So it is just a processing problem. Each one of these solutions is going to be bespoke. It is going to take some time, and President
bespoke, and it's going to be custom to each country. Listen, Trump rewarded the countries by saying that we're going to reduce the tariffs for 90 days. Since y'all came to the table in good faith, everybody except for China, we're going to reduce the tariffs for 90 days to 10%, meaning we still going to charge y'all. We still going to make money. We still going to do the thing that's in the best interest of Americans. We still need to make sure that we build up our own economy, our own manufacturing, and take care of us and be interdependent on us. And not just because it's a security issue, but also because this is what's best for America and our jobs and all of that, right? Not only are we going to do the best thing for ourselves, but we're going to reward you by reducing the amount that we charge you for 90 days. But every single country is going to have a bespoke experience. It's going to be custom to how we do business with your country, but it has to work in our favor because for too long we've been taken advantage of by the world, and our politicians before us sold us out, and now we are leveraging the art of the deal to make sure that Americans benefit as a result of it.
Trump wants to be personally involved, so that's why we're getting the 90-day pause.
Secretary, there was a tweet that you and Secretary Lutnick were in the Oval Office with the president talking about this. Can you talk about what that conversation was like and what you guys said to one another that led to this decision?
Look, it's all the president's decision, and the president had a level in mind to raise the China tariffs, and then he had the 3-month pause in mind, and we were discussing the exact wording. Sorry? Of course.
It's the president's decision.
It's the president's decision. It was the president's decision to wait until today. And again, as I've said in the past, no one creates leverage for himself like President Trump.
Mr.
Secretary. Shelby, go ahead.
Mr. Secretary, what does the president want to see by this, I think it's July 9th deadline to keep things paused? Is it just trade barriers coming down, or is it more than that?
These are trade negotiations, but if countries want to come and offer other things, I talked about yesterday that we are thinking about a big LNG project in Alaska that South Korea, Japan, Taiwan are interested in financing and taking a substantial portion of the offtake. But again, in essence, that is trade because it will decrease the trade deficit that we have with those countries. So everything's on the table.
This is the statement that Trump put out that absolutely exploded the market. And again, if you're not in it, if you're just sitting on the sidelines and you're just a TikTok commentator, then you're not going to get it. But if you can't take advantage of what's going on, then that's your fault. This is the statement that Trump put on Truth Social. He says, based on the lack of respect that China has shown to the world's markets, I am hereby raising tariffs charged to China by the United States of America to 125% effective immediately. At some point, hopefully in the near future, China will realize that the days of ripping off the United States of America and other countries is no longer sustainable or acceptable. Goes on to say, conversely, and this is a reward for everybody else that's gotten in line, conversely, based on the fact that more than 75 countries have called representatives of the United States, including the Departments of Commerce, Treasury, and the USTR to negotiate a solution to the subjects being discussed relative to trade barriers, tariffs, currency manipulation, and non-monetary tariffs, and that these countries have not, at my strong suggestion, retaliated in any way, shape, or form against the United States. I have authorized a 90-day pause and a substantially lowered reciprocal tariff during this period of 10%, also effective immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So essentially what you see happening is that other countries are being rewarded. We are being rewarded for continuing to be patient. I think that there's more to come as far as turmoil and ups and downs in the market. So we're going to benefit again on the ups and the downs. And make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. So, greatest president of all time. That is the latest. I will keep you guys updated. If you are not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. I love you. I appreciate you. Let's get this money, man.